All right, what's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Okay. So last week I didn't post or do an analysis because um, my sister was dedicating her baby last week, and then I had work at the restaurant. So I appreciate the patience. But yeah, a lot going on in the world of the indexes, and crypto. Crypto's still booming. So we're going to go ahead and do our analysis here. But real quick, I want to read a little bit of the scripture real quick before we start, because these verses kind of just really caught my attention earlier this week. So I'm going to share it with you guys. So I'm going to Proverbs chapter 4. Realistically, I would recommend you read this whole entire chapter because the whole thing hits. Proverbs in general, honestly, like you could read one chapter a day, and there's 31 chapters. Um, it's just like really good advice, really good wisdom for anybody. Okay, so this is Proverbs 4, verse 10 through 13. So I'll go ahead and start. Hear, my son, and accept my words, and let the years of your life be many. I have taught you in the way of wisdom, and I have led you in straight paths. When you walk, your steps will not be hindered, and if you run, you shall not stumble. Become strong in discipline, and do not let go. Watch over her, for she is your life. So I'm going to run that back. I'm going to read it one more time. Hear, my son or my daughter, and accept my words, and let the years of your life be many. I have taught you in the way of wisdom, and I have led you in straight paths. When you walk, your steps shall not be hindered, and if you run, you shall not stumble. Become strong and disciplined, and do not let go, and watch over her, for she is your life. So, yeah, so I mean, this scripture is just so powerful because, that's what everybody wants, regardless of whether or not you walk with God. Everybody doesn't want their steps to be hindered when they walk, and people don't want to stumble when they run in life, right? That's what everybody wants. And I think it's important to note here that obviously that's something that we are offered when we, walk right with God. And, a lot of people out there, they kind of just are constantly asking for favors and prayers, like bless me with this, bless me with that. And they pretty much have a prayer life, right? Which is great. But if you notice the prerequisites to having your steps not be hindered and not stumbling, it says that I have taught you in the way of wisdom and I have led you in the straight paths. So this isn't just like a ask and you shall receive. It's like a obey and you shall be blessed type of deal, right? So there is a way of wisdom and there is a straight path. And when we learn that and we ask our Father to enlighten us to what that is, and we seek that, then we will not stumble and we will not be hindered. And we have to cling to discipline. It's not easy. But yeah, so that scripture was just like really speaking to me this week. And I think it's important as people who follow God and follow Yah, to realize and know that it's a two-way relationship. It's not just like me, give me, give me, give me, you know what I mean? It's like I will do this for you. I will obey you because I trust in the way that you're guiding me and I know that you're going to protect me. I know that you're going to bless me and it's a trust relationship, right? So yeah, so I hope that scripture blessed you. But all right, so that's pretty much it on the scripture that I wanted to share. So we can go ahead and get started in our analysis for the day. Let me just make sure I got everything pulled up here. We're getting pretty close to Christmas. So me personally, I haven't traded since the first week of November. I kind of just my year just came to an end. I planned to stop trading in December, but I stopped earlier because I kind of just was brought to a place of listening and studying, and I'm totally okay with that. It's a beautiful part about trading is that we get to decide. We're not, you know, forced to do anything in this game. So, but I mean, yeah, the year's coming to a close, so I hope everybody had a good year trading wise. And yeah, so I've just been reviewing because as you guys know, for you who have been following these analysis, I track everything. And so at the end of the year, I always go back and I look at my trading progress and kind of like how it's gone over the year and like what my patterns were, good or bad, just like overall trading behavior, because it's kind of hard to look at your behavior from just over a month. It's when you have everything in the course of a year and like everything's dated and analyzed and recorded, then you can it's just very valuable information where you can kind of just like take like a bird's eye view of your trading and just make sure you're on track with everything and such. So definitely recommend that. Okay. Okay, yeah. So in full disclaimer real quick. So yeah, so I haven't been trading recently, so I have not also been keeping up on like current events very much. So I'm doing this technical analysis, and I highly recommend for anybody who's watching this and listening, I highly recommend that you definitely go and like do your fundamental analysis um, because I am currently not up to date on those. So this is going to be strictly just a technical analysis um, for this. But okay, so looking at the dollar, let's pull up Forex Factory real quick. Got PPI this week, Euro policy rates, CPI. Okay, so this week can potentially be a pretty volatile week. The following week, we also have the rate decision and JPY. That's going to be crazy. October 30th. Hello, welcome. Okay. This is something, I know we don't do analysis on any JPY pairs, but this is definitely something to pay attention to. Because I did read an article, Mary Rose, Mary Rose and Rose. I like it. Okay. So yeah, so I did read an article a couple months ago um, about them possibly changing rates in December again, because if you guys remember last time they did that, it kind of like rocked their stock market and our stock market, because a lot of money was being transferred between currencies from pretty big institutional investors. So this is definitely something to pay attention to, because I think on the JPY, I don't want to say too much, but let's see. Yeah, I mean, we had this drop, so if you just like put a fib on it real quick, we came all the way up almost to the 78. We shall see. Okay, but anyway, dollar wise, so we've been having like this really large, strong bullish push, um, even while our rates were cut the last time. And so we definitely came up and swept all this liquidity right here. So that's been taken. And once we came into this area, we came into this gap a little bit. There is still a gap left and an unmitigated weekly order block right here. Let me just check the monthly because I didn't check that last week. So yeah, so we have a pretty large wick that shows willingness to reject this level. And there is still some gappage up here. Okay, but it does look like we're beginning to get that rejection, because if we are going to continue to cut rates, the dollar should at some point start to move downward. So we did see a break of structure on the daily right here. And then we have price come and kind of like fill this imbalance and retrace. So if we just throw a fib on that real quick, it came and retraced almost to the 50%, but this imbalance is filled, which is probably the most important thing to pay attention to there. We did get a bearish weekly order block. It's kind of lopsided, as you can see, but this is a bearish order block. So it looks like price retraced up that order block and began to sell. And if we go back to the daily, it did make a new low. So now we have established a low, a higher high, and then a lower low. So for this week, and this does look like these were definitely relatively below here. Real quick. Okay. And then so we have like a rejection on both sides, right? So pretty much what I see happening is I could see the dollar, either it's going to, maybe we open, take out the week's low, right? And it's going to either respect this downtrend that it's creating and just continue, right, to go down. Or I could see this just being manipulation here, and we're retracing like a bigger push, and this would just be a liquidity sweep. So again, we could open lower, get that low broken, and then we could go break above this high right here, invalidating this downtrend, and then we could see retracement, and then we could go higher. Either maybe we could make a higher or a lower high here below this one to then sell off the next week, or we could go back up to create a new high, filling in that imbalance that was left on the weekly to the left here. So that's kind of what I see. I would say that we could expect some sort of consolidation, which is never realistically impossible. But as you can see, the news that we have this week. I mean, we have CPI and we have PPI, which that's never calm, to simply put it. So I think our CPI last week, and again, like please do your own fundamental analysis because this is mostly technical because I have not been paying attention to the fundamental, but I mean CPI doesn't look too bad. 2%. I thought I remembered a bad report that it went up. Okay. Yeah, so definitely, please do your homework on the fundamentals because they're very important right now. As we are beginning to loosen our monetary policy and other countries are beginning to tighten for the first time. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with the dollar. So let me just write this down. Screenshots. Okay, so it honestly seems like it's more likely to start trending down, but I would not rule out price giving us one last push to the upside because if we're really going to go back down to a low rate, I mean, that's a lot of pips. So it's going to obviously try to manipulate a lot of people out of the market first before it makes a move that big. I mean, look how big this price leg is. And we'd be moving down towards this low eventually. Um, okay, so that's what I see on the dollar. Next, we're going to do NASDAQ. So since last time I went on here, NASDAQ has pushed up and we are headed straight towards this negative 27. We had a couple different levels of liquidity marked. We had this level right here. We had this order block that we were looking at, and then we also had this deeper one down here. So since the last time I did an analysis for y'all, it sold in and dipped into this level of liquidity right here, and it was satisfied with that. And then we just pushed up from there. So that was pretty strong price action. I did not trade it myself. I really wanted to, but I was just like, I'm not in it right now. But I feel like, yeah, look at that weekly candle. So definitely we've got strong volume to the upside for sure. Let's look at the month. Got a monthly order block. So everything's looking good on the bullish side of things. And then remember, if we cut rates again, which we likely will, that is all the more reason for the stock market to keep climbing. A good way to think about it is institutional investors, they're selling high, right? So the dollar at its high yield, the bonds, right? So they're selling high because now they're dropping the yields. So they're selling high and transferring their money into new vehicles to make them money. So that's why the stock market and the dollar will move in opposition to each other. The stock market is considered to be a lot more risky than bonds are, but there's a time and a place for everything, and it's just money being moved around. Okay, so we got 12 days left of this candle. So we got a weekly order block. Okay, so let's just keep this one simple, and let's just throw Fibonacci on this candle right here. Just like that. And then I just want to look at the daily because I did see we had an order block right here. We have imbalance here. We have imbalance here, right at the 78. Okay. And then, yeah, so we could possibly see something like we open a bit higher, take that high from last week, and then we could come back into this order block, and then we could just continue to trend higher until at least this negative 27. What price does after that, I don't know. It could definitely keep going. Absolutely. Maybe we hit it by Thursday, and then we kind of get like a little retracement Thursday, Friday, looking like this. I do think it's possible for price to, we could open and sell into that order block, and then that could be our bump to take out the high, and then we could get a deeper retracement. Let's just say the 50%-ish, fill this first imbalance. We could definitely go lower into the second one, but we'll just leave that to be determined. And then we could see price trend higher for the week. Right, and maybe get that retracement on Friday like this. So those are both bullish options, which I could see playing out. Let's do a bearish real quick. We sell into this order block, maybe deeper into the imbalance. And then this would be like Monday. And then we just go straight for that negative 27. We get here above it, possibly, maybe right below it by Tuesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, excuse me. And then we get a sell back down into this imbalance, or maybe into this one. We'll just go to the 50%. And that would give us a bearish candle. But we do look very, very bullish right now. Very, very bullish. So, yeah, that's pretty simple, honestly. The bulls look strong. Shot this. Yeah, so the way I would be looking to trade this is like if we're really on a good bull run, then you would just wait like for you would just literally wait for any type of pullback, especially in the form of a liquidity sweep, like you see this here, and then it just takes off. Um, that would be worthwhile to be patient for when we are getting the run like that, because they pay very well. Um, okay, so that's what I got for NASDAQ. So Dow Jones wise, we're pretty similar as always. Um, so the negative 27, fix this, is right here. We didn't reach it last week, but we did. Look at that week we came. So we were bearish last week. So it's Tuesday. Okay, yeah. So just zooming in here. It looks like this is kind of, honestly, it looks more like a consolidation to me. Yeah, it's kind of just going sideways here right below. So what that really means is we have buy side liquidity resting above these highs. Also have we're creating a channel here. Okay, so we got stop losses down here, stop losses up here. We've got buy orders resting here and sell orders resting here as well. So I also see that we have a gap in price right here. It's also close by. Okay. We do have imbalance here and order block down here. But I'm not going to mark that. I'm just going to make a note of it, a mental note. And then zooming out, we have imbalance here, order block right here on the weekly. This is an unmitigated weekly order block. So this could go either way, in my opinion. So I would say, like, if we get, okay, let's say price takes sell side first. Maybe we get price open up a little bit higher on Sunday and then sell side gets swept on like Monday-ish. Maybe we come we could whip this really like really close, all this liquidity in here, or we could come all the way even down into this gap that I have marked. So it just depends. Like if this gets swept first, then I'll be looking at buys back up to sweep this liquidity. And not only that, but likely also take out this negative 27 that we have on the macro time frame. And then from here, I mean, geez, we could just keep going higher, or we could get like literally a wick, right? And it comes back all the way down like this. So this would look like a rejection wick up here. So I wouldn't worry about too much what is going to happen. Like if we get the sell side taken first, I wouldn't worry too much about what's going to happen when it gets to here. What I would worry about is catching the move up to it. And then you should be good for the week. You don't even need to take another trade after that. So when it gets up here, like we don't even need to worry about figuring that out, what it's going to do. Because if we get this opportunity, then that's going to be really to buy in here, then that would be a really good move. Same thing goes for the buy side. So if we take buy side first, then I would be looking for a possible move back into here. And then we could go and then climb higher. So this would be like a Judas swing. So you take buy side, then sell side, right? So that's what that potentially looks like. And then even like you can trade this to come up into the sell side, but I would again wait for it to come down into here. Because I do know this is going to get swept. Like I don't know. That's what I would be looking for, even if you have to wait this first move out, because it could just keep going higher. You know what I mean? So I would just be patient. I would be looking for a buy below this level. This could also look like, right, we get a sweep and then we go into this sell side. And then we could continue lower into the lower gaps. So it could kind of play out both ways. But yeah, liquidity on both sides. We have objectives on both sides. So in the event we get like this one right here, so like we get our sell side taken and then it goes straight up in a buy side just to come back down. This would look like an indecision candle. So kind of like a doji or hammer, that type of candle on the weekly time frame. All right, so that's pretty much what I see for that one. And then again, people, please do a fundamental analysis because I will say it again, I have not been paying attention to fundamentals. So please do your due diligence and do that. Let's take a look at AUD. We've been following this for a little while now. So this thing just keeps falling and falling and falling. And at this point, it has fallen way lower because we kind of got that sideways movement right here. So I just figured that that was its time to begin turning around. But like, I mean, you can see right here, we have a bearish weekly order block again. So something's going on fundamental wise. I know that last week, um, I think there was a GDP that came out. Yeah, that was um really negative, like that missed by a lot. Um, so once that happened, it just started selling off like crazy. And then, so there's something going on fundamental wise that is weakening that pair a lot. Um, However, I just don't think definitely not the turn of the dollar and the dollar switching directions has not taken effect yet on this pair. Um, so yeah, so I guess at this point, we just need to watch it, um, and see what happens. So, but it is getting close. I mean, this is a wick, but we're just so low down here at this point. Um, there's definitely some heavy fundamental stuff going on that's causing it to continue to go down. Um, so until the dollar turns, because the dollar, I mean, we're up on the dollar, right? And it looks like we're beginning to turn. But until that happens, yeah, I think it should just keep heading down because that's what it looks like. AUD, um, their economy is just like not doing well, and their currency's not doing well. So, but other than that, yeah. So, all right, guys, that is the analysis for the week. This will be recorded on YouTube, and then so if you want to go back and listen to anything, if you're on YouTube, you're welcome to join the group, and come on this analysis live if you have any questions. Other than that, have a blessed trading week, and I'll catch you guys later. Have a good day, Mary Rose.